A matchup between the Lady Vols of Tennessee and the Connecticut Huskies. The survivor will play for the national championship on Sunday night against Oklahoma. The Sooners eliminated Duke 86-71 with 4 players in double figures. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Ann Myers. It's great to have you with us. These teams played early in the season. It was a 6-point game at the half, but then Uconn assumed control and won it by 14. Considering the fact that they lead the nation in just about everything, what can Tennessee to do tonight to pull the upset they really want? They certainly cannot shoot 38% again. They have to attack off the dribble. They've got to get in the lane. They've got to be the aggressors. They've got to be more physical and get themselves to the free throw line. Big rebounding, that's going to be a big key. And the other thing, try and keep the ball out of Sue Bird's hands. Good luck on that one. Nancy Lieberman and Michelle Tafoya will work the sidelines for us. Here's Michelle.
Well, Mike, UConn's undefeated. I mean, what haven't they won this season? How about this most recently? An unprecedented All-American sweep, if you will. For the first time in history, 4 players from one school represented on the first 3 AP All-America teams. And even Tamika Williams earned honorable mention. Sue Bird, Swin Cash, Diana Taurasi, Asia Jones all making the teams. And while much of the attention has been focused on their offense, how about the defense? 2 records could fall this season. NCAA records for field goal percentage defense and fewest points allowed. Even Gino Auriemma has said, I didn't think our defense could be this good. Now let's check in with Nancy Lieberman.
Well, Michelle, for Tennessee, their mantra for years has been defense, defense, defense. The completion of defense is rebounding. They are unbelievable on the boards. They go after it relentless. The thing that I like is that they average 13.5 offensive rebounds a game. And against a very good Uconn team, they're going to have those second chance opportunities. Now, for Uconn, I think you've got to keep the ball out of the All-American and Player of the Year Sue Bird's hands. Make Taurasi bring it up the floor. Make Swin Cash bring it up the floor. Keep the ball out of her hands if you can for Tennessee, and then I think you have a chance to win. What do you think, Mike?
I think you might be right, Nancy. Pat Summitt has been the head coach at Tennessee for 28 years. She's won 788 times, tied for the most ever, including 6 national championships. Here is her lineup. April McDivitt, the Lady Vols' best 3-point shooter. All-American Kara Lawson, their top scorer. Brittany Jackson has started 4 games, but all in the tournament. Gwen Jackson averages 6.5 rebounds. And Michelle Snow at 6'5" gives them an advantage in the middle. Connecticut's Gino Auriemma, the Naismith Coach of the Year for the 4th time in his 17 seasons as head coach. He's won 2 national championships, and here is the Huskies lineup. Sue Bird, a brilliant leader, the National Player of the Year. Second-team All-American Diana Taurasi, the Big East MVP, Swin Cash, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. Tamika Williams hits more than 70% of her shots, and Asia Jones, Uconn's all-time in top 10 in rebounds and points. The much-anticipated rematch between the 2 named programs in women's basketball. It always seems that one of them is here, and more often than not, they win it. Michelle Snow will jump center against Swin Cash. Tennessee controls.
One of the things that Gino Auriemma said to me today, that he was concerned about the inside play of Michelle Snow and Ashley Robinson if she gets in the game, but good dribble penetration by Brittany Jackson.
Brittany Jackson, the freshman who really solidified this lineup, gets the first 2 points. No freshman nerves there. Tamika Williams with the first opportunity inside for Uconn. Tennessee hustles it down court. This is Lawson picked up by Bird, and now McDivitt will reset.
Well, how about Pat Summitt? 16 different lineups this year in 31 games, and 11 of the last 18 games. So she has really struggled, and Michelle Snow has been coming off the bench in the tournament. Didn't play against Notre Dame, or I say Georgia State, but she's starting in this game.
Can't tell if players without a scorecard, and they will go 11 or 12 deep. Bird nearly turns it over, gets it back, goes baseline. She's shooting more in the tournament, and that's why. She is a terrific shooter You can go up and down the Connecticut lineup and say, geez, if this girl was the focus of the team, she could average 25 a night, and you'd be right in every case.
Well, Gino Ariema said she's always had the killer instinct and the drive to win. But she
Michelle
knows what
Snow, offensive rebound.
Lawson struggling from the floor in the last 2 games, 2 of 20 from the floor. And yet she feels that she's confident in her shot, and yet, again, the Tennessee Lady Vols have made it to the Final Four really without Carol Lawson in the last 2 games offensively.
But isn't that what shooters do? Shoot?
That's right. And she does a lot of other things out there.
They won't go in unless you shoot. Cash working outside. This is Asia Jones. And now Sue Bird with a 3. Bird, one of the best long-range shooters you'll ever see, 47% on the season.
And Tennessee has April McDivitt on her, and she is such a net. And she will harass you and harass you. Against Vanderbilt, Ashley McElhaney struggled against McDivitt.
McDivitt out of the corner, can't hit it. Taurasi, who loves to run, with a rebound. Nice pass ahead to Swin Cash.
And it was a bullet pass.
Yes, it was.
Not a lofty pass at all. Great hands by Swin Cash to catch that on the run.
Brittany Jackson gives it up to McDivitt. Pat Summitt telling her what she wants out of the offense. Uconn leads the nation in scoring defense as well as scoring offense. Scoring defense is the best ever, only 51 points a game. Shot clock at 1. Brittany Jackson has to fire. Hit the back of the rim, but no closer. Taurasi does a great job of palming the ball and rarely called for it. Hits the runner at the baseline.
Diana Taurasi, a sophomore at 6 foot, can handle it. Left or right-handed, she's looking for pass a lot of times, but she will score. And she sees orange, she wants to score. And here's the bullet pass before. She averages almost 4 assists a game. And everybody, what I like on this Connecticut team is looking for the ball. They're always ready for it. They know it's coming, and anybody can pass it.
Taurasi had a career high the first time these teams met. 32 points. And Pat Summitt, I think, really got the emotion back in her team after they were knocked out of the SEC tournament. I think it was a major shock to them. Sometimes a loss helps you focus, doesn't it?
Well, it always does. And especially when they lost to LSU in the NCC tournament, it brought them back. They needed to work on some things as far as defensively, and they did coming into the NCAA tournament. We talked about the different lineups. Other players have stepped up. You see Lori Moore is in the game.
And Shira Eli is also in. Moore is a very good ball handler. That pass goes right between her legs. Sue Bird against Lawson, and it's an 8-0 Uconn run. You make a mistake against Uconn, you pay for it.
They are so good going to the basket and that being under control as far as the layup is concerned, and defense really has a tough time trying to defend it.
Moore, excellent pass inside to Jackson, but she couldn't hit the shot. You better make the most of your opportunities against this club.
A lot of times Connecticut won't get as many field goals. Great block by Michelle Snow, and she is pumped.
Exceptional defense as Swin Cash spun into a double team, and Snow was there.
Here's the block by Michelle Snow. That's her 55th block this season.
Taurasi very casually inbounds, and Asia Jones with a miss. Snow, the outlet to Lori Moore. Tennessee scored the first bucket. They haven't had one since. Brittany Jackson. Good dish inside to Gwen Jackson.
There's that dribble penetration. Connecticut rotating over defensively. This Gwen Jackson really led team. I think even with Michelle Snow as a senior, this Lady Vol team kind of goes as Gwen Jackson goes.
Taurasi tried to get it inside. Brittany Jackson, who has had a whale of a start to this game with the steal, so she's had a bucket, an assist, and a steal.
Tennessee is going to try and stay up with this Connecticut team. Connecticut runs in a different way than Tennessee does, but Tennessee scores more off their running.
Moore trying to get the bounce pass to Snow, and it goes out of bounds. 15:25 to go first half. 8-4 Uconn.
This ESPN Classic program is brought to you by...
Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Beautiful Riverwalk, full of shops and attractions. The attraction right now is at the Alamo Dome with Uconn leading Tennessee 8-4. Tennessee has already had an 8-0 run in this game. Asia Jones into the lane, 13-footer. They all shoot so well. Moore hustling back down court, picked up by Bird.
They shoot so well. How about getting Old Dominion in their last game to get here to the Final Four? They were 13 of 13 in the first 2-3 minutes.
It's a way to take a team out of it in a hurry, isn't it?
Shooting 100%, and then, you know, about 12 minutes in, 10 minutes, then they're shooting 90%.
Somebody missed one.
There's Sue Bird on a layup.
Gwen Jackson against the double team to Lawson, who has struggled so much with his shot. That may have been partially tipped. Then Lawson misses the wide open follow.
I thought it was a blocked shot by Sue Bird.
Bird cut off by Moore. She and Taurasi both had that great hesitation dribble. There's the bucket by Tamika Williams and a foul on top of it.
They do. It just makes the defense stop for a split second. The thing that impresses me most in the offense is the spacing. Good quick passes, they're short passes, and they're great angles. That's a high-low. Tamika Williams down on the low, Asia Jones passing her from the top. But they can rotate it with the three players that they have, with Jones, Williams, and Cash.
Gwen Jackson has picked up her second quick foul. Tamika Williams, another Naismith candidate, will go to the free-throw line. Hits the basket. All five starters have scored for Uconn. It's 13-4. Full court pressure. Lawson. Tennessee had numbers, but Lawson threw it away.
Connecticut has not pressed a lot this year. They haven't had to, but you see the reaction by the Tennessee players just rushing things, and Pat Summitt not happy with the way her players handle that press.
Sometimes that's so much more effective when you don't do it very often for whatever reason. And spring and autumn is a surprise. Asia Jones had a good look but missed the shot. The rebound went to Shira Eli, and she was fouled. The call will go against Swin Cash, her first. Tennessee has gotten its opportunities early but failed to cash in. They're down 13-4. Hit only 2 shots in 11 attempts.
I asked Pat Summitt, I said, what do you have to do differently? And she said, we've got to guard them. Well, they not only have to guard Connecticut because they shoot so well, they've got to get some shots to go down for themselves.
Asia Jones gets it back to Bird.
Look at their passes. Their passes just have that zip on them.
3-second call. Uconn will turn it over.
Second lane violation.
Pat Summitt had one of the 3 undefeated national championship teams in the history of this game. Gino Oriana has had one, going for his second this weekend. Brittany Jackson got a nice screen from Snow. Good pass inside to Eli. And Brittany Jackson is a remarkable story for Tennessee. A very poised freshman who has just gotten into the starting lineup lately and made a lot out of it.
Out of Cleveland, Tennessee. And again, the dribble penetration, opening things up. Good pass inside to the freshman Eli. And Shira Eli in the SEC tournament had 31 points, so she's capable of putting a lot of points on the board for them.
Made the all-regional team. Bird, good pass to Asia Jones. Her shot wins out. Rebound to Tamika Williams, and Tamika Williams called for the offensive foul, trying to get the follow.
Shira Eli getting down, getting position. You see the contact by Tamika Williams. Williams kind of shook her head up and down, yeah.
Moore brings it up.
You're talking about Brittany Jackson being inserted into this lineup in that number 3 spot. Got someone tried when Jackson hit that 3, but she's a lot more comfortable at the 4, and Jackson can shoot the 3. Brittany.
She has supplied most of the offensive fireworks for Tennessee. They've cut it to 13-9, but Uconn has an immediate answer with Sue Bird out of the corner. She drains one at 16-9. Uconn playing zone right now. Oh, that was a tough pass. McDivitt tried to fit that one in there. Bird back the other way, short on her jumper. McDivitt with a loose ball.
She missed it, but you and I have talked, and as long as we've seen Sue Bird play, she can stop on a dime.
Boy, she can. She's got that 5th gear, too, when she gets in the open court. So does Taurasi.
Oh, what a pass inside.
Nice pass by Taurasi, but Swin Cash had trouble handling. They bail her out with the foul, though.
I also like, though, Sue Bird out on the wing, opening things up, but she had her head turned back, looking for the ball, and hands up, ready to receive a pass, even though she didn't receive it.
2 fouls on Tasha Butts quickly off the Tennessee bench.
Sue Bird, the player of the year in almost every category.
That was too easy.
Way too easy. How do you run an out-of-bounds play like that and be that open?
And I've never seen a player like Taurasi hold the ball in one hand on out-of-bounds play.
She's got those big hands, those long arms.
Snow was open. I don't think realized it for a moment. Taurasi with a rebound. Out to Bird. 2-on-2. Bird goes low to Swin Cash. She missed. Follow won't go, and the rebound to Tasha Butts.
Connecticut just gives themselves chances. They're all around the ball, the offensive glass, second, third opportunities.
And they seem to play with such intensity on every single play.
And you never see another team like this with the 4 seniors and the super soft Diana Taurasi.
Eli tries to go inside, lost it. Look at hustle by Bird. The player of the year diving out of bounds, trying to save the ball. 2 wonderful guards, which is what you need in tournament play. People can snap off those beautiful passes.
Good switch.
Connecticut up 18-9 here in San Antonio, and Tennessee is here at the Final Four, but they've been struggling a little bit tonight because Kara Lawson's been struggling throughout the tournament, scoreless so far in this game. Pat Summitt told me earlier that Kara has carried the team all season long, and has actually taken a toll on her. So Summitt put together a highlight reel on the good things Lawson's been doing, defense, rebounding, and she showed it to Lawson earlier today. Summitt said Kara needs to see some good stuff. We'll see if she can respond here, Mike.
All right, Michelle, thanks very much. Only 3 seconds on the shot clock. They get it into Munoz, who comes in for the first time. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Excellent defense by Tennessee, or check out Connecticut to shut down Tennessee.
Well, we had seen in the second round, and there you see Kara Lawson coming off the bench. Pat Summitt directing her what to do, but in that second round game with Iowa, they had 8 blocked shots in the first half. And played much better defense in the second half and only had 1 block.
There isn't anything I don't think they can do. An excellent entry pass that time and a wide open bucket for Jessica Moore, the redshirt freshman. And it's 20-9. And Munoz double dribble.
Back in the lineup for Tennessee, number 20, Kara Lawson.
Diana Taurasi again over her head at 6 foot. She's able to see over the defense, and Connecticut does a good job cutting underneath the basket or in front of the basket, just getting good position. Taurasi already with 4 assists.
And they catch the ball so well. Very good hands up and down this roster.
And that's the hard part, too. We talked about keeping the ball out of Sue Bird's hands. Well, she's fine with that because everybody else steps up.
Great hustle play by McDivitt to dive for that ball. And we've got a foul on Taurasi, and Gino Auriemma really upset by that call. We thought it was a jump.
He's talking to the NCAA committee over there.
They can't help.
Case, I know it.
Eli, nice dish, the basket and the foul. Richardson able to score off the good feed.
Connecticut foul number 41, Jessica Moore, her first personal, 4th team.
This is a very young Tennessee team, even though they're very deep.
Good penetration by Eli, and the nice pass. Good hands by Courtney McDaniel. She has been a super sub in the last 4 or 5 games for this Tennessee team. She's really made a difference. Doesn't get a lot of minutes, but when she comes in, she'll get a big rebound. She makes a defensive play, and so when she plays in those short minute spurts, she's an effective player.
One of those remarkably productive people.
And
Taurasi penetrated. She ended up being triple teamed.
And just even off that, Tennessee going to the board. You saw 3